Get it.
Y'all shout out Tiffany when we done. Her baby girl had a accident.
Oh man.
Oh my God, is she okay?
I don't know. We'll find out after the show. But she hit me a while ago. Well, she hit us all on the West now. So y'all make sure y'all hit her up. All right, here we go.
It's official.
1, 2, 3. We're here for a particular reason.
It's time to put the kids to bed.
And that reason is
It's time for the full 180.
Yep. You know what time it is? It is Tuesday, a terrific Tuesday. Hope everybody had a good day. Man, look, I know I did. You know, started that new JOB, man. Well, not new JOB, you know, just same old day, different place. That's all it is. But, you know what I'm saying? You always thank God for the little small blessings you get in your life. We thank him every day to come to you every Tuesday from 8 to 9, man, to give you some real, uncut, authentic conversation. And tonight, it's going to be real authentic in conversation. And we're gonna get into all that, but I want to make sure we take care of all the preliminaries before we get started, because we don't want no interruptions. Because administration Roy is locked and loaded. With that being said, you know, I got the crew. None other than my big brother, Mr. DJ Legend, aka who we sponsored by today?
Me?
We sponsored by DJ Legend. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, all day today, man.
We always have a sponsor.
Yeah, I know you do. You got one behind your shoulder. Of course, we got our new freed up doctor in the house, none other than Miss Brianne Miller. We call her Dr. B. What's going on with you, girl?
Hey.
And none other, all the way from Wakanda. She's your queen to be.
What's
all the way from Wakanda is none other than Miss Administration Roy.
His license.
And of course, and of course, y'all call her mama, but tonight, this is BG. You know how Beyonce got an alter ego? She has an alter ego, and y'all gonna see it tonight. Y'all wanna know what I mean by you talk that noise, you run your mouth, she gonna set this off. But I call her mother, but you can call her Miss Barbara Harrington. Hello, mother.
Hello, Gregory.
Whatever. Don't be dry. Don't be dry, because I'm telling you how your business, but it's all good. Look, man, you know how we got to get started, man. I want to go ahead and get started because he been low cut and ain't been in the building lately, but you know, it is basketball season, football season going on, and these raggedy Cowboys on one again. I can't believe
what?
Stop. But with that being said, we got to go behind the arc.
Barely.
The 3-point line, the 3-piece. One other than my man, my big bro, Mr. DJ Legend. Let's go see Murder.
Man, so where are my Cowboy fans at?
How about them Cowboys? How about them? I knew he was raised right.
Greg, I don't know what's going with your Broncos. They done lost by what, 2 in a row?
Yeah. I know, bro. You know, it's cool. You know, it's middle of the season. It's cool. I mean, it's cool. I keep telling y'all holler at me when y'all get to these postseason. Tell y'all the regular season don't count. Y'all holler when y'all get to the postseason.
It's going down.
Look, I'm on the couch. I got a place for the Cowboys too. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's going down, man. But so shout out to Candace Parker. The Chicago Sky won the WNBA championship.
Yes, she did.
That's nice right there. I don't know if she's gonna retire now, but you know she got about many jobs. She TNT, NBA TV all around. But
real talk. I wondered that. I thought she retired. Then when I seen her playing, I was like, what's she doing?
Nah, she ain't retired. You know, she from Chicago, so that was good for her because she, won in Chicago. So that was good for her. And yes, the NBA season has started.
Yes, sir.
Milwaukee Bucks got their rings tonight. Man, their rings are huge. And you can take the ring off. Part of the ring, you can make it as a necklace, as a pendant.
Oh,
oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't want no ring like that.
Yeah, it's a piece you can take off the ring and put on a chain or something like that. That mug I seen that mug nice. That mug real nice. So the Brooklyn Nets, they still ain't got Kyrie Irving because he don't want to get vaccinated. So he finna lose. He gonna lose for his whole salary if he don't decide to come back. So
it's not a serious overshot. It's not
overshot.
But let me ask y'all, because I know y'all, we all sports fans, but like I know Charles is serious about basketball. He said in an interview that he did it, he had a choice, and he did, so his choice was not to take the vaccine. Should he be punished for not wanting to take the vaccine? Because it is a choice. And if you, now let's be political about it, and I really don't get in politics like that, but if you make him take it, ain't you taking away one of his amendments?
I mean, it's a choice, but you choose to take that money.
It's a choice. But where he's at, since he's in Brooklyn, New York mandates them to have their shots.
Right.
Because the thing is, you don't want to be you're not vaccinated, and everybody else been vaccinated. You getting everybody sick, or just that whole vibe. You know what I'm saying? Just I'm like, dude, go on and get the shot. You had all this time to research, do what you had to do, and everything. But that's his choice. He has done a lot for the NBA. He done donated like money to the WNBA. Done gave scholarship to kids. He a good dude. It's just some things talking about the earth is flat and all that stuff and everything.
That's stupidity.
I can't. Yeah, that's one of them things. That's one of them, like, I like R. Kelly. I don't like Robert.
I don't like Robert. I don't like Aura. I don't like none of them.
I like Kelly. I don't like Robert.
Yeah, he pretty much gonna lose his whole salary, bro. Because the Nets told him, no, you can't come practice. You can't do nothing. You can't even do away games, home games, because it was already you can't play home games. But they told him, no, don't even come till you get your shot.
Right.
So, and he, I think it's other couple of players that haven't did it, but I know the Golden State Warriors player, Andrew Wiggins, he said the same thing, but he turned around and got his shot because he was like, I ain't finna miss out. He finna miss out on $35 million for the whole year.
He was gonna miss out on some real bread, like some real bread.
Yeah, so this is choice, man. Hey, it's his choice, but I know, my Cowboy fans, we out there, we just doing this thing. I know that right there.
Okay, all right. Well, I think that's enough for sports.
The Cowboys have faced two of the top teams in the NFL. And not only have we proven that we can go the distance, our offense is putting up numbers unlike ever seen before, and it's clean, good offense.
They always start off like that.
I mean, but it's okay. This is actually, we are playing as a team. You can't say one person is outshining the other. Dak is leading with poise and confidence, and we just doing it. I mean, it's time for the hate to stop. We gonna win the NFC East. That's period. That's just a done. And then beyond that, anything beyond that is just gonna add.
Don't say it.
I'm just gonna say we should have actually won a long time ago because Dak caught it. I mean,
don't say it. Don't say the Super Bowl. I'm gonna give you your credit because you said NFC East, and I like, you know what? I can get it. But you open your mouth and say Super Bowl.
It's not about Super Bowl. I just want them. If they just give me at least one playoff win, I'm good.
There you go.
That's you know what? See that? I like that. He live in the real world. Some of y'all still live in these fantasy made up worlds.
It's called faith. Faith and fear can't dwell in the two places at the same time. So I got faith.
And guess what? You got faith, but Jerry Jones, he need all his money. He ain't got no faith, no fear. He need his money in his pockets. He don't care about no Super Bowl.
Leave Smeagol alone.
Okay, I'm just telling you what Sleepy Brown really look like. We appreciate you always for the sports, my brother. We're gonna move right on along because she ain't did it in a minute. I tell you, I'm gonna get everything out the way, man. I own Dr. B. She always got a thought of the day, and today is a big success for her. She made a big move, so I'm gonna let her do the announcement, and I'm gonna let her give the thought of the day. What up, B?
Hey, well, my thought of the day, I think I said it before. Mental health is real. Protecting your peace is real. Sometimes you just really got to just step out on faith. So that's my word. And with that said, I actually retired myself, not really retired, but I stepped away from education today.
Breaking off another hot explosive mix.
I quit my job today. it's bittersweet. You know, I cried with my babies, and you know, we talked, and I got a lot of thank yous that I didn't think I was gonna get because I felt like these kids didn't like me, but they the ones that gave me some of the biggest hugs and the biggest tears. And you know, I'm just moving into a new chapter, stepping out on faith this time, for real. And I love education. I always have a special place in my heart for it, but it's time for me to move on. So,
well, B, you know us, and you know me. Hey, man, we are your biggest cheerleaders. We are proud of you. It's time to step into that purpose. I know you've been talking. Now it's time to go and make it happen. But we support you, man. We got your back. 4 flesh without a spur. But man, congratulations to you just stepping out on faith like that. I know that was a big thing. Something you had to weigh heavy in your mind, and you just did it. So I applaud you, sister. I definitely applaud you.
Thank you.
That's what's up. Well, look, man, I'm gonna run through this real quick. So, man, y'all keep our first lady in y'all prayers. Her daughter had a little fender bender, so she's taking care of that. So, of course, you know, it's October, and we believe in supporting our sisters. That's right. We don't let the sisters fight the cancer alone. It is October month, so make sure you're doing something in your community or wherever you are in support of the women that you know who are cancer survivors. I think Tiffany knows one. I don't know if she's going to be on the show or not, but that's still to come. Now, it's also getting close to November. And we've been given so much, so we need to learn how to give a little something back. So if you know any family that is in need of a Thanksgiving dinner, please DM me at DJ Tricky Bomb Radio or email us at the full 180 at gmail.com and give us the family's name. And that's all we need to do. And we'll make sure that we'll take care of that for them. We want to do our due diligence this year to make sure we bless somebody else, because I can definitely say we have all been blessed on this show. If you ever want to be a sponsor of the show, man, we got a weekly package, $50. A monthly package is $150. And if you ever want to be a private investor, you can always sew into us by going to $MASON 410, or you can email us and we can talk about how much you would like to donate. But everything that we do goes towards our shows. I got something working in December with a young lady that I'm about to talk about, and then we'll go right into our topic. Don't forget, man, DFW Small Business Expo is going on the 30th at 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. My homeboy, my ace, Mr. Antoine White, reach him at 314-630-4465. It is free, open to the public, and if you want to be a vendor and you're an entrepreneur, you can also be a vendor for $50. He's also doing a co-working Saturday, October 23rd. That's right. This is a place where if you have your own business, whatever you have going, you can be with like minds and you can come up with a master plan that's going to shock the world. It is free to the public. You speed networking, speakers, vendors, partnerships, and collaborations. Of course, Mr. Antoine White does have that going on. And you know, Saturdays is about empowering the ladies with none other than our own First Lady, Miss Tiffany E. It goes down every Saturday at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. They have great conversation. Make sure you tune in, ladies, man. And back there that she introduced me to her friend, Miss Sand. I had a great time at the Queen Tribe last Saturday. Now, let me tell y'all something. These ladies were outside in all black, in all day splendor. But when I tell you the conversation got real, And it had me sit there and fold my arms like, man, I didn't even know all this was going on. So many questions I had while it was going on, but it was so inspirational. If you was a dude, you would have learned something that day. I know I did. It's a couple of things I had questions about, but it made me think about certain things that went on in the past, certain things that happened that I wasn't paying attention to. It was very inspirational, man. So shout out to Shan. Shout out to Miss Alicia from Brian Adams. She was there. She shared her story, as well as the rest of the ladies, man. Like they was dressed to the nines when I tell you. But man, it was some snotting and crying going on, but it was very inspirational. I had a good time. And we're going to do something with her coming December. I'll tell y'all about that later. This Sunday, that's right. The season y'all been waiting for is finally here. Scorpios do it better, man. October 24th, we live on the rooftop from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. Yours truly on the ones and twos. I need all my Scorpios in the building. This is opening day. We getting ready for that November 4th. What is November 4th? The greatest day on earth. That's when your boy was blessed to hit this world. You hear me? we gonna kick it, man. Do it real big. I got something planned. I'm thinking about doing. But once I get all the logistics worked out, trust me, you'll know. I'll put it out on Facebook. The crew will be there. We're just gonna have a good time, man. It's all on me. Without further ado, man, and then I do want to say this. If you haven't picked up the book, Wounded in Worship, please do that. Miss Tanya Renee, when I tell you the story is real, my mother can give you all the insights. She just finished that book. Go ahead, Mama.
It is past outstanding. It is absolutely excellent. I learned a lot of things about myself. And I will say that it takes a tremendous amount of courage to do what she has done and is doing. It is an excellent read.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so if you ain't picked up the book, you can go to Amazon. You can go to her website. It's Miss LaTanya Renee, man. Wounded in Worship. She tells her story, how normally how things happen in a household, everything happened to her in church. That's all I can give you, man. Please go check that out. Of course, if you're new to the show, man, hey, we welcome all our visitors. Thank you for attending. Please share. Don't like our page, the Full 180 Convo at YouTube. You can go to my Twitch page, it's on there, and also go to Facebook, man. So without any further ado, man, look, you know, I always do a motivational quote for the day. And this quote is going to fit the show. Today is be the example. That's your motivational quote. Why did I choose that? Thank you for asking, because today we are going to the couch. I had this epiphany. You know, this is the Full 180. Normally people ask me, why you call it the Full 180? Where did it come from? So I try to explain to them. I used to walk around in a 360 for so long, doing the same stupid stuff all the time, no matter what it was. I've even told my mother one day, I said, you know, I did some stupid stuff. So today, I thought about it, and my brother is my inspiration, because Charles is no hands down going to tell you, no matter what you do, go to therapy, go talk to somebody. So I chose today, we're going to go on the couch with our own licensed therapist, Miss Roy. And guess who's going to be on the couch? None other than your boy. So we're going to dig into my 180. We're going to dig into my past. So without any further ado, License Roy, I'm going to shut up and let you roll with it. For a game, let's go.
All right. So we're going to do this just like I would do a real therapy session.
Now let me set this up before you say this. Now, a long time ago, Ms. Roy said I was jaded. So this is where it started. And we had a conversation. So now this is where we're going to go. So go ahead, Ms. Roy. I'm sorry.
All right. So for all of y'all who are curious, if you like this, you want to participate, we'll maybe make this a thing that we do. You can go on the couch. Maybe each cast member will participate. I always tell my clients, there are only 4 times I break confidentiality, but this is an absolutely open session. Because it is open, Mr. Harrington is waiving all of his rights to confidentiality. Should anyone feel that his personal, emotional, or physical safety is in danger, please contact another mental health professional. In addition, I don't say that I know everything, but I know most things, and he's really brave for doing this. So, Charles, am I in congruence first with your previous therapy experience? Gotcha. All right. So,
Yeah.
so what we always do when we start therapy, Greg, is we need to do a psychosocial assessment. Just basically, I would like you to tell me who was in your house, who you grew up with, ages, brothers and sisters. Tell me the dynamic, your birth order, and all that.
So I am my mother's only. I am I am the only child of my mother's. I am the first grandchild in my family. I am a mother's and grandmother's and a granddaddy's baby, who grew up in my house, my father and my mother. At 22, I found out I had a sister. Her name is Brandy. With that being said, we wasn't necessarily really connected, but if I tell you, you put us both in the same room, you would think that's me in a girl version. How'd I grow up? Some of y'all would say I was spoiled. I say I was well loved. But no, I grew up with some discipline. I grew up with learning to earn what you want. Never forget, I wanted a pair of Jabos, and I had to bring home a certain GPA just to get 2 pairs of Jabos, but I was gonna get them. but it's cool. It taught me lessons later on in life. Things in my house wasn't always my idea of a relationship growing up was my grandfather and my grandmother. My mother and father had their relationship, but it was totally different. I seen something totally different there than I did there. Other than that, I had some bumps and bruises in that area. Me and my father were not always on the same page. We bumped heads. I used to say so much, if I don't leave here, we're going to kill my mom. So when I graduated high school, I got the hell away and went to Grambling. Came back, ended up going to Angelo State University, finished there, came home. But when I came home, I was there for a short while. Other than that, as time went on,
Stop you right there because you there's something I want to go back to.
Okay.
So, as a child, and your mom's gonna, I have the lovely pleasure of having your mother here, so this will be kind of. I'm trying to establish your attachment pattern. Now, as I do know that your mom was a younger mother, so I know that basically, was there ever any history? Are you witnessing arguing, abusive behavior, violence, or anything like that when you were a small child?
Oh yeah, unfortunately, unfortunately, I was there to see the pain of my mother when my father stepped out on her.
Okay.
As my mother would say, is I seen too much.
Right.
Probably did. But at the end of the day, I seen that pain, like from point A to point B. I didn't know it had anything to do with me as I was going to move forward, but it did play with me a little bit. And we can get into that later on in life when it came to me having my own relationship.
Right. So your attachment, you're very close to your mother. You're very close to the women in your family.
Which is crazy. Which that wouldn't be true. My dad was my superhero.
Okay. So
my mama was the savior.
Okay. So who did you particularly, and correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Barbara, who
always
did you particularly cling to or find yourself as a small boy, and I'm talking about 10 and under, who did you typically run to for comfort or relief?
Oh, it was probably my mom.
Okay. Would your grandmother be included in that as well?
Her and my grandfather.
Okay. So with that being said, the patterns of relationship, did you witness a lot of hugging, kissing, affection, verbal affirmations? What was that like for you?
Oh yeah, in my grandfather's house, that's what it was. So when I tell people that, I used to tell people my family name is a brand. It ain't nothing to be played with. So I made that up. They didn't say that, but I said that because you have to see how my grandfather carried himself. Mm-hmm. So when growing up, my grandfather took care of all the bills. My grandma money was her money. But my thing is, my grandfather always said my grandmother allowed him to be the man in the house, even though we know that's his God-given right when you think of the hierarchy. However, he said that. So with that being said, their relationship, whatever happened behind closed doors, I don't know nothing about it. I found out at 25 some stuff about my grandfather and my grandmother, and I was like, really? Because what I seen was love. All I seen was, our house was the go-to house. My grandmother's house, that was the fun house. Anytime I got in trouble, I wanted to go over there.
Okay. So you mentioned that your grandfather provided a lot. He was there. Anything she wanted, you guys got. So did you learn to equate love, caring, and responsibility with providing in a, not a materialistic sense, but just being a financial presence and dependability as far as things? I'm not talking about verbal, emotional. I'm talking about providing.
No, my grandfather provided in the way about showing up.
Okay. So his presence, his physical being there. Mm-hmm. Okay. So how did you witness him communicate love to the women around you?
My grandfather was stern but soft.
Okay.
You got the raw and uncut version of everything, but in the sense of it, he still loved you. His love never got tired.
How did he?
That's why.
What he did? Was he a kisser? Was he a hugger, kisser, buy gifts? What was he? How did he display it? Not his theory. How did he demonstrate it?
Oh, yeah, hugger, kisser. I've never seen my grandfather leave my grandmother's house without kissing her. Bye, or coming back in. He hugged his kids. He kissed his kids. He kissed his grandchildren. Okay. When I graduated high school, when I graduated college, the moment I had with him, hugging him, and I told him, "Ooh, I'm about to get emotional." I hugged him and told him that we did it because I was the first, and I had to go get it for everybody else. Because if I didn't, I lived on a whole nother expectation. Because you got to know my grandfather, and you got to know my mother. This lady had me at 15, dropped out of school for a year, still went back to school and graduated with a 4.0. I pushed myself to get a 4.0 that whole time I was in high school. I came close once. And it wasn't because she made me, it was because I wanted to do it. Because my thing is, these people around me sacrifice so damn much for me to even do this podcast right now.
Did that ever make you feel sometimes more pressured, or at the same time, kind of, how am I going to measure up to all the sacrifices that these people have made for me?
I just knew I couldn't fail. Wasn't no room for it.
So with
in my mind.
Okay, so how do you deal with failure when it does happen because of that?
Back then, not real well.
Where the jadedness comes in, because it's your way of dealing with failure. So, and I'm going to ask your mom, since your mom is here. In the past, Ms. Barbara, first of all, you did a phenomenal job being 15 and just sticking with it, because, you know, first of all, physically, women aren't even done developing at that age. So emotionally, mentally, physically, I know that was very difficult, making the decision to be a mom. And to, you know, because a lot of women, a lot of girls, we don't make that decision. It's just, you go away for a while and then you come back and then there's no baby, or there's just no baby. So
right.
Commend you for doing that. That's very responsible, a very good example. Did you ever have mom guilt though? Like, did you ever over provide for him because you might have felt guilty or unassured about the things that you gave to him?
I don't know that I over provided. There were certain events, like, my prom was totally jacked up. So it was like, I tried to make sure that Greg's prom was everything he wanted it to be. Right. So there were a lot of things that I didn't get to experience because I was a teenage mom, but I was determined to make sure that Greg was going to have those experiences because I didn't, and I definitely didn't want him to miss out. And that was the thing. I still remember I had brought Greg home from the hospital. He may have been maybe 2 or 3 months old, and he was laying in his crib asleep. And I was standing in the doorway, and my dad came up behind me, and he said, because of circumstances and the fact that we have 5 children, there are a lot of things that you guys don't get exposed to because mom and I just can't afford it. And so the thing he told me was, try to make sure that money is not an issue when it comes to the experiences that Greg has. And so that always stuck with me. So yes, there are times because of things I didn't get to do or I wasn't exposed to that, yes, I overcompensated.
Yeah. And with that being said too, the relationship with, Greg's father, I know sometimes there is, you and your dad, you said your dad you didn't see eye to eye, but you were always with him. Were you in some way, because your grandfather seems like he was present 110%, but your dad and you weren't like on the same page. What did you seek from him, or what did you not understand? What was the off balanceness?
So you got 2 parents in one household. You see love and affection, and you can have real conversation, and you can be yourself, and you're able to express yourself. On the other side, it's like, as we say all the time, you need to be seen and not heard. So, it was more like it's a drill sergeant thing. So in my mind, if my mother said it was good and he said it sucked, it wasn't good enough.
Right.
Like to this day, I think my father used to be mad because I didn't do the whole signing day thing and I'm going to this college. I could have, but I chose to do something else. Because I actually got picked up by school in Vermont, but I was like, I'm not going to Vermont. It's cold. I ain't going down there. But anyway, but all that stuff. So it's like a whole lot of stuff. It had to be good in his eyes. He had the last say so. You can say whatever you want to say, but if he didn't say it was good, it wasn't good enough. So with that whole dynamic, what do you say? See, go ahead.
Red truck come around the corner.
He know. That's what I'm talking about. This boy been with me since 8th grade. He know that truck come around the corner. We 15 dudes outside my house playing ball. That truck come around the corner. You don't know how it's gonna go down. But he had that presence though. If you ask my Uncle G, which is George Holmes, his homeboy, and a whole bunch of them, my dad had a presence. When he walked in the room, you knew he had a big personality like me. He wasn't scared to talk to nobody, but he didn't play no games. I said it at his funeral. My dad was unapologetically him. And if you didn't like him, he didn't give two. My bad. He didn't give a damn. It is what it is because you don't live in his house and you don't pay none of his bills. So it ain't my job to make you like me. But when it came to me and him, we just always bumped heads because it's like I lean more the understanding of what I was getting from my grandfather and my grandmother versus then this drill sergeant I was getting over here with my daddy. But it was just like, bro, I just want to be good in your eyes. That's all I want. But every time you open up your mouth, it's always talking about what I don't do, what I do this. Then when I bring something to you, you want to redirect it and put it back on something else. It's just like, yeah, do I do anything that's good enough for you, bro? Anything.
Hold on that right there. Because how big is the shadow that he cast in your life?
Oh, it used to be real big.
Used to be?
Real big.
Would you still say? I would say it's still there.
Okay. I would say it's not.
But you know why? It's not there physically, but it is up here when you're criticized because you hear is what I'm not doing good enough is not, and I'm often heard when your ex-wife would say things to you or present things to you, it was always in a critical manner. So was that triggering for you? Do you find that when someone is questioning you or, saying that you didn't do this, you didn't do this, is it often that you're replaying a greater theme in your head deep down?
You have to process that. I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no. That's something I'll have to process. I'm not going to say yes or no because, it could be.
You don't have an answer to everything all the time. That is something I want to sit with for a while because we don't realize the impact of our the first people are caregivers because it may not be your parents, it can be whoever. We don't realize the impact that has on our decision-making system, on our pattern of loving others, of our pattern of accepting others, pattern of dealing with it. So for you, when criticism comes, constructive, not, or whatever, it puts you in a mindset of, well, damn, everybody else, the people I'm close to and I love the most, my mom, my family, I've been raised to know that I'm good enough, but yet this other person who I also want validation from keeps questioning me. And now I'm valuing you too, and you're questioning me. Why are you putting me through this same dynamic again?
That emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Because when you brought out my ex-wife, my thing was, so I'm gonna tell you what my biggest problem when I was married. And I realized, man, when I went to this women's thing, I realized it. I was working in partnership. She was working from a place of being wounded still. I didn't see it, or it was never communicated to me. So I just kept doing what I thought. Well, if I'm doing X, Y, Z, why are we still beefing? Why am I going to jail so much? Because we outside hollering at our lungs, and then here come the laws. If you only knew how many times I got arrested, no physical abuse. It was just, we was loud, whatever, whatnot. So, of course, I'm not going to let you go. I'm going to go. I'm going to take it. I'll never forget, I got arrested one night. The police officer was talking about, you married to a woman that got 4 kids? I said, yeah. He was like, damn, I just want to let you out right now. I was like, what are you talking about? It's a package deal. I didn't look at it like that. When I got married, I loved her.
But Greg,
you might not have been there. Go ahead.
I have to put a little bug in your ear. You got with someone who had 4 kids by other people. She in a needy, dependent type, I'm looking for something. A woman with 4 kids at
Mhm.
that young age, um, there's something missing in her. And you can't, in your ability to be, the man that you are, the man that you see yourself to be, were you trying to fix or save her?
I will agree with you. I used to take, and that's what I was getting to. My biggest problem with her, and there's no knock on her. I used to always say, we just wasn't good for each other because it got toxic. I no longer say that. I say that I was working in partnership, and it was never told to me how hurt she was, or I never seen that. I know some stuff, but I would not divulge it. But when I tell you, I know she was going through something. She was going through something just by some of her. We throw temper tantrums.
Absolutely.
So some of the temper tantrums. But my biggest problem is that I made myself responsible for her happiness.
Exactly.
That was my biggest issue when I was married.
I agree.
And now I know, this is when I say to y'all, that's a your issue, not a my issue.
Right.
I can help you with it.
Right.
But don't make your problem my problem. Now I'm here.
Right.
But don't start redirecting that stuff on me like I'm the one doing it, because I'm not.
Right. Because a lot of your frustration is, I'm doing this for you. I'm giving this to you. I'm providing this to you. Why are you still complaining? Why are you still running your mouth? I've done this. I've done that. So you actually were setting yourself up to be continually put down. It's kind of like a self-abusive thing. Like, and it was something that sounds like you were used to because you were continually seeking your father's approval. So you get into a relationship with someone you're still seeking approval from.
Like I said, I'm not gonna say I'm not. Well, you know what? I am gonna speak to it. Well, I would say what you're saying at that point, you're exactly right. That's what I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I really don't need nobody's approval or something.
That's a lie. To yourself.
Okay.
You've convinced yourself of that because it hurt. What you went through hurt. But anybody who wants to be in a relationship, you want your partner's approval, but on a different level.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Babe.
Is that something that you? Because I'm listening to y'all and I'm like, man, is that a defense mechanism? Would you call that? Because I mean, I'm don't mean to interrupt, but
you cool. Look, we forgot it, man.
I feel like sometimes
you count this as observation hours.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting here just thinking about it. I'm like, because we have learned to convince ourselves of things to try to block what we actually feel, and we say it so many times when we start to believe it. But deep down inside, do we really actually still feel that thing that we're saying that we don't?
The biggest lie we tell to ourselves is that we don't care.
Right.
And even when you hate somebody, you are actually being very hypocritical, because you have to love someone enough to hate them. You have to care enough about what they're thinking and what they're feeling and their perception of you to even spend time to say, I hate you, because hate comes from fear. And you're
a lot of energy.
You're missing something. You're like your anger, your frustration. It comes from fear that you're not enough in this person's eyes in some way, shape, and form. So, Greg, I challenge you. So from now on, when you say you don't care, I want you to take a step back and say, wait a minute, is it that I don't care, or I don't like that this feeling is making me feel this way, so I need to not care?
Let me say this about the approval thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say Greg needs no one's approval, but I think Greg is very selective about who he seeks approval from. Now,
yeah,
there are certain people that he has decided in his life are non-factors. So the fact that you don't approve of me and what I'm doing,
right,
does not have the same effect as it would from somebody that I know is really invested in me.
And that's actually good, because not everybody's your friend.
And I was sitting here thinking like maybe it's not necessarily seeking approval, but just like choosing to respond to certain things in certain situations. You know, it's not necessarily, you know, like, you know, just like she said, it's certain people that's just like, you know what, I'm not even gonna address that because you don't have that much, you don't occupy that much space in my life. So I'm not even gonna choose to respond to what you're saying. You know what I mean? And it's not to say that I care or I don't care. It's just I'm choosing not to deal with it. I'm choosing not to even think about it. Let me worry about and focus on people who actually care about me and see their opinions so that I can make an educated choice on how to move forward. Because there's even been times where, you know, even when we have our parents, we go and consult our parents. We as adults, we still consult our parents, you know, generally speaking, not everybody, but we consult our parents, not to say I'm asking for my mom's permission or to have her to make the decision for me. I just kind of want to know from a person who's been in the world a lot longer, a person who has known me since birth, you know what I mean, to see how they feel about it. But ultimately, I'm still going to make my own decision.
Right.
And I'm going to deal with my consequences, whether they're good or bad.
Right.
You know, the thing, well, the thing I told Greg, especially about his dad, is, I mean, I'm a daddy's girl, always will be. And so my father's approval of my life and my choices was very important to me. So I totally understand where he's coming from. But what I told him is, I understand that you want your dad's approval, but what I want you to get to the place where you're okay if you don't get it.
Right.
Because his father was if Johnny was not giving up his approval or his stamp of approval very easily. I mean, even if you climb Mount Everest, you know.
But my question is,
times he just refused to give it.
My question is this: I wonder if that was his way of making Greg a stronger person. Like, was that his way? Because if he had been a little bit easier to give approval, would Greg be the type of person that he is?
So I'm glad you said that, Bree. I'm gonna get all into that because you said it.
Yeah.
So as I went through life, going through all this, and I got divorced, and went through my bumps and bruises, I read this book called The 5 Love Languages, right?
Yep.
Opened up my eyes to a whole lot that I didn't understand. So as I got older, and like she said, I used to seek my dad's approval. The reason why my daddy could not validate me anymore because of that book. Because now the problem was, why we were bumping heads, bro? Because I don't know how to love you, bro.
Exactly.
Now I need to know your love language. So I'm gonna run down his love language. When he woke me up and took me to the junkyard, that was him loving me. Right. When he woke me up at 6 o'clock in the morning to build a fence, and my mom in the house cracking jokes.
That's love.
And I said to her, "Oh, house," and because I was like, "You woke me up on a Saturday?"
Yeah.
When he had me outside fixing on a car, cutting yards, doing all this stuff I used to fight him against, I realized at certain time after I read that book, say, man, that's your daddy love language. You know why that's his love language? Because when my daddy was growing up, his daddy left him outside, left him at a house, door wide open with the screen shut, because you said you was coming to get him. My daddy went through some stuff. Yeah. But he never healed from that. He never got over that. He stayed wounded. So when he brought that into my relationship, I have a whole nother side of my family who don't do nothing but love. When I tell you we love hard, we love hard. Bree been at the house, Sean's been with me forever. So they know this. But then I have a whole nother side of my family are selfish, ain't giving you nothing. If it's mine, it's mine. When you start fighting with your own sister over your mama's death, you're doing too much. Right. Doing too much. So once I learned that, on his 50th birthday, I wrote him a letter because I called my grandfather daddy. Good. But I let him know I only have one father. I only have one dad. And I wrote him a whole letter for his birthday to let him know. So he can kill that thought out of his head. When I tell you, when I learned my father's love language, me and him was like this. We good. I knew how to handle it. And when he started, like you said, Bree, when he started all that, you want to run your mouth? All right, bro, I'm finna go. I ain't got time for all that. Too much energy. And then later on, he want to talk. That's cool. That's just how he operates.
Okay.
But any other time when he talked, you ain't supposed to say nothing. And I knew we was gonna bump heads because I ain't 13 no more, bro.
Right.
I'm 22. We can't play them games no more.
Right. He didn't see you in your full male development. So
of course,
looking at the little boy when you had evolved into a young man, and your own.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so glad you brought up.
Thank you, Bree. Huh?
Bree, you're an excellent. I will be your supervisor. Please.
She gonna put you on. Gonna give you a job.
No, she has to have a supervisor, and I'm an LPCS.
Oh, okay. You know, I got somebody else trying to do that too. I'm gonna turn you on to him.
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought up love languages, because now we're gonna, real briefly get into, because this is just a first session. Like, typically,
of course. Let's move. Let's move to second month. Go ahead.
Actually, so your loving style, how do you like to show your love to the women that come into your life? And that can be, we'll go ahead and go with romantic. How do you like to show the women in your life that they are significant to you?
Hold on, before I answer, I'm gonna let my mother tell you what she told some old women in church.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Oh no, it was my grandmother. So you wasn't in there. You was in the finance office. So I came to the church and brought my grandmother something. I forgot. And these old ladies talking about, oh, your grandson, he just so nice. My grandmother say, my grandson is the most romantic brother y'all know. I was like, you don't know that. And I need you not to say that for all these old women. But to answer your question, my thing is being romantic is, my uncle taught me this. My uncle can run everything down that my aunt said to him that she wanted to do, wanted to go, the whole nine. So my uncle taught me how to listen. He doesn't do it right away. He do it in different spurts. So when I do it, you ain't expecting it.
Okay.
I am Mr. Flowers. I am the edible arranged. I am, let's do something nice for you. Or, hey, won't you get dressed so we can go out? And I ain't telling you nothing. Just get dressed so we can go out. I am, let's sit it. I think the most romantic thing I've ever done, and it was with Ty. She let me lay in her lap, and she read a book to me. And we went to sleep. Okay. I think the most romantic thing a couple can do is go to the grocery store. Okay. I've seen so many relationships get back together, break up, whatever. But you're walking through the aisles either being stupid because I'm comical, and you just talking, and you really there shopping, whatever or not. I can give you a prime example. I'm in the store with somebody I was with, and we walking around. She picked up some cookies, and I said, "Well, why you picking up some cookies? You just talking about you need to lose some weight." And she turned around talking about, "Oh, well, you like all this thighs and ass." I was like, "Well, go and get you 2 bags then. We good. Let's go." I ain't gonna even be mad at you. Let's get it. Let's go. But that's me. Like, I try to be attentive to the certain things that I know that you like. Like, I want to know your favorite candy, your favorite soda. Like, I'm to the point when I was married, I knew what my wife's period was. I knew what she wore. I knew how to go get them. So I beat her to it so she didn't have to worry about it. I knew how to be extra sensitive during that time of the month because she's going through something. That's me.
Okay. So then, with that being said, so is your love language more acts of service and words of affirmation?
No, my love language is quality time / communication, physical touch, acts of service, words of affirmation, acts of service, and I always say whoever that person is, she'll be the gift.
Okay, so now here's the complicated part about love languages, and it's the part that's missing is learning how to love your partner the way they want to be loved. That is the biggest obstacle, because you can know what you want and you can love people the way that you understand how to be loved. How do you, what method do you use to try to understand how your partner wants to be loved? Not the way that you know how to love, not the way that you perceive romance, but what tactics do you use to understand how your partner wants to be loved?
Well, first I'm gonna ask you what your love language is, and if you even know it. Because my thing is, if you don't know your love language, how can you teach me how to love you?
Okay, that's true. Taking the
And if you
quiz,
can't,
I recommend for everybody.
and if you can't teach me how to love you, how can I execute?
Right. Right.
So that's firsthand. Let's have. But when I ask you this question, I need you to be totally honest with me.
Okay.
Don't say what you think it is. I need to know.
Okay.
Now, can it change? It can. I agree with that. But I would ask that question. And then from that point, my thing is I had to grow. My problem in my marriage was I used to listen to respond. You done said I love you, and all I heard was you, and I'm ready to go off. As I grew up, after I read the book, I learned that you have to learn how to listen, not listen to respond. So that's normally how I was able to catch on to someone's love language. Now, did I miss the mark? Yeah, because I ain't perfect, but that's normally how I do it.
How do
But
you?
I will tell you this: Greg is very attentive. He pays attention to people, and especially a young lady that he's involved with. He pays extra attention to things. So, and that's usually how he picks up on what they like, what they don't like, you know, how they want to be, because a lot of people don't even know what their love language is.
You're absolutely right.
But he is very attentive.
Okay. So how are your patterns of expressing displeasure, and how do you handle that?
What do you mean my patterns of expressing the pleasure?
Displeasure. When you're
you talking about sexual pleasure? What you talking about?
No.
Temperament, boy, get your mind out the pan.
I'm telling you, look, you making this face like pleasure. I'm like, well, fool, what is you talking about?
I said displeasure. Like when you're, how do you express what are your patterns of expressing when you're upset with someone or frustrated with them? Are you passive aggressive? Are you aggressive? Do you feel like, do you implement manipulative tactics? Because you are very intelligent, do you have a tendency to kind of get cerebral with your partner? Or what is it that you do when you're very angry, and how bad can it get?
Well, I will say, due to the teachings of Walker at Harrington University, I am a communicator. I am a communicator, and a whole lot of people think they can out-communicate me.
He gets aggressive.
Hey, bro, I'm not aggressive, bro. Now, when Charles say that, now let me break all that down. When Charles say that, I was aggressive. I was in the that Bree know. Now that clapback game was good. I'm quick with it. I used to tell people all the time, I play chess, but if you want to play checkers, you're gonna king me every time I move. I promise you that. But anyway, you arrogant. No, I'm not. There's just confidence. It's the difference. But with Charles, when Charles say aggressive, I thought about this today. I'm glad you said it. When Charles see me aggressive, it was we in the gym and we hooping, and you keep shooting at my brother, and I'm like, say, bro, you gonna shut your mouth up for real. Now, true story. I'm on the other side of the court. We playing now. Me and Charles lived in the gym rats. We played outside, inside. We hooping. One dude is running his mouth. He kept running his mouth. We was in the middle of the game, and I had the ball going down the court, and we was about to win the game. I stopped and threw it at him. I said, man, you better watch your mouth. I don't know who you're talking to. Now, Charles ain't thought to. My brother's very passive. Well, he's not now. Now, I've seen him, which is very invigorating to me because I've never seen Charles just be so outspoken. I was like, ooh. But he it was I know why he did it, but he came back and fixed it, which was good. But just to see him be outspoken like that tells me that he's changed in certain ways. But yeah, that was me. When we was hooping, I was aggressive. I am that person. You do not come from when I say family, when I say I love you, when I say we family, nobody comes for you. Nobody. Bree know that. Charles know that. My cousins know that. Don't come for nobody. When I say when you connected to me, I used to be the dude I always want to put these paws on somebody. I ain't with that. I'm done with that. But my thing is, I'm gonna walk away. Case in point, me and Charles at Harlow, this dude walked by and touched my laptop. Yeah. See how you made that face, Bree? That's how me and Charles look at each other. And I told Charles, I totally lost my mind because if he'd have came back, I would threw him over that banister. It would have been all she wrote. Then I messed up my money. Then I would have really been mad. Right. So I had to get back to myself real quick. So yes, that aggressive person, he's right. When I was with Keisha, which is an ex, which was like my homie. When I tell you I was so aggressive with her, but that was because I was seeing what my daddy was doing with my mother. So I did it one time and we was in the house and my mama turned around and looked at me like, nigga, who is you? And I got checked. And it was just like, in my mind, I'm like, what my daddy do? What's the trip about? So it was like, oh, my bad. But a whole lot of my relationship with Keisha was me in that aggression state, and probably by what you said, that I was wanting that validation from my father. Even when I got married, it was somewhat there where in the middle of my marriage, I had to go to counseling for it. And I did go. I think I went for about 2 months because that was the only way that we was gonna stay together. So, because it just got real crazy. But it was crazy because after I did that big change, she flipped the script and she became that way. I'm like, well, damn. Now that I changed, you want to play the 4. Can I be the 3? But with that being said, but as I got older, and I use this analogy about walking around a tree, I got tired of walking around the tree. I got tired of, it's a song, it's the song that I normally listen to in the morning. It's called Deliver Me. It's called, in the words, it says, I can't think of it right now, but it says something about, because all I ever do is hurt me. I used to hurt me so much about being so aggressive. And I knew where it was coming from because I wanted to protect my mother from what my father was doing. But I couldn't put my paws on him because then that'd have been me disrespecting God, because you can't do that to your family. I can't think of the scripture right now, but y'all roll me with that.
Father and thy day to be long.
Yeah, thank you. But with that going further, that was then. As I got more mature, if you ever seen me and Ty together, thick as thieves. I tell people all the time, well, even now, well, you want somebody like your ex-girl. Nobody will ever be, and I don't want you to be. America, write that down, stamp it, send it to me in an email. I don't want you to be. What I'm going to tell you is I had somebody who came in my life who showed up when I couldn't tell you told me you love me and I couldn't even tell you. But you looked at me and said, I understand. And you love me anyway. You stayed consistent. Nothing ever changed. We were the best of friends. I lost a friend. Forget the fiance part. I lost a friend who I know, who said something a while ago, Bree said it, that I knew I can rely on.
Right.
Because too many people in my world who always relied on me, I couldn't rely on their ass. They always in the wind. But when I need you, I can't find you. But when you looking for me, you know how to call my mama house. You know how to text me. So that used to aggravate me. But as I got with this person, I saw it was a whole nother light. So I don't want another her. So when I'm dealing with relationships, it ain't that I want another Ty. It's that I don't ever want to go back to my marriage.
And you know what? I heard in your voice, I heard a lot of emotion, a lot of pain and aggression.
You're right.
Almost like an aggressive pain. That you don't like it when people pretend to be in your corner.
When I don't like what people do what?
You don't like when people pretend to be in your corner but don't show up. When they pay you the lip and the physical doesn't back it up. The actions don't match. There's no congruence.
Of course. That's why I don't play with people today. When she said something about there's certain people that validate me, there's certain people that validate me. But other than that, the rest of y'all really can kick rocks. It don't bother me. Not no more. It used to. I used to be very aggravated by that. I used to tell my mother that in our private conversations, just real hurt behind all that. It's like, I keep showing up for these same people who keep stabbing me in my back. That's why I don't want you to ever tell me you love me. Don't ever tell me you love me if you don't mean it. And this is what I mean. Me and this brother on this phone, even brief, we all done been through something. But ask him, have I ever stopped loving him? Then I want you to ask yourself another question. When does love ever stop? And I'm gonna finish that statement with, I just told you what my mother and me went through with my father. Not saying he was a bad man, love my daddy. I would beat your ass off my daddy and go to jail. There's certain people I would go to jail behind. Y'all are 3 of them. My mother I already know, my cousins and some other people. Right. But this is my thing. When I say love don't ever stop, when you truly love somebody, my mama been through hell and back. But when I seen my daddy laying on a gurney, because he passed away, the same woman on her loved my daddy the same way she loved him in 7th grade. So you can't tell me stuff can't be fixed. You can't tell me stuff can't be worked on. You're going to have to put the will and the effort and make the commitment to do it. She should have left. I told her she should have left. Why are you still here? But that grown woman told me I'm the one took them vows on that floor. For better or for worse, for rich or for poor. And I still told her, you dumb for doing that. Now, people say, now, once again, I'm glad you make that face. And I'm gonna let her fix your face, because we get that all the time. Yeah. But when I seen her standing over him as they roll my daddy out, I know everything they went through. But I still see you love this man, even in death. Right. Y'all don't tell me you love me, player. Just say we cool and leave it at that. But I'll let her tell you about that. What's that?
Love is an ocean. It changes. It can't be created. It can be created, but it can't be destroyed, but it can change. And real love is rare. Real true love is rare. And I agree with you. A lot of people will say, I love you. I love you. But love is a verb. It's not a noun. It's an action. It's an expression. So when people tell you they love you, it should be more of a display rather than lip service. So I get that. So you, Miss Barbara, were with Greg's father from 7th grade till the day he died.
Yes, I met Johnny in the 7th grade. Now, I mean, you know, there were times that we dated on and off in high school, but and then he went off to college in New Mexico. But, you know, we stayed in touch. Of course, we had a child together. Right. But yeah, I spent over half my life with this man. So we did not. I'm sorry.
I know it's getting late.
That was actually. I'm glad you shared that, because what you communicated to Greg in that lifetime is that love can be repaired. So
it can be.
So it can be.
It can be without a doubt. It's. Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. Johnny and I did not have the best of relationships, right? And my husband was definitely not a communicator. And, you know, there was just a lot of issues over the years. But at the core of the relationship, we loved each other. We truly loved each other. Right. Right. And so we, you know, even those times that you wanted to walk away, or maybe you even knew you needed to walk away. Right. But I felt like, until I can say I don't love him, I can't walk away from this, because then there's always a chance for us to make this better. So
you want to live with regret that what if he
no, absolutely not.
And so you're so wide and accepting enough that you could love him, flaws and all.
Absolutely. And trust me, you know, that's on him too, because God knows I have my flaws. And I'm not the easiest person to get along with, believe it or not.
She's controlling. So,
it was definitely a two-way street.
So. Women who are controlling, or we're not controlling, we're seeking to develop continuity in relationship. We're not controlling.
Ms. Roy,
that's what we call
that one over there is controlling. You didn't live with her, I did. Look, me and my father used to tell her all the time, hey, don't come home and like we work for you. We don't work for you. We don't.
Controlling is a leadership quality that is missing. It is continuity in relationship. and
I agree with you.
logistic communication.
I agree with you. And you know what? What I learned at that queendom thing, that yeah, we should embrace our women's superior. So this is why I say I don't have a problem with an independent woman. I don't. I want you to be independent about certain things. I want you to be strong in certain things. Let me know what your expertise is. We can know what my expertise is, and then we can operate. I am the king of not having unnecessary ass arguments. I don't want to have them. I had them for 6.5 years. I do not want to have them. So let's not have unnecessary arguments. If it's this, let me tell you something. If my sister was here, she'll tell you one thing about her. She'll tell you, my brother, all he needs to know is what we doing, be consistent in what we doing, and he cool. He don't care about nothing else. But when you start flaking and doing all this roundabout stuff, and I'm like, okay, what is going on? What I don't understand. Now, I put some of that on me. Sometimes maybe I wouldn't listen. That could be it. And I say that with my first marriage. I wouldn't listen. But as I moved forward, when I was engaged, trust me, I was listening. Because she had this thing with leaving water in the sink. Pissed me off. But after a while, you be around somebody so long, you learn them. You become a friend. Y'all become friends before you become lovers. And it's like, oh, that's just something that she do. So it's like, all right, why am I going to get mad about that? I'm done arguing about that. That's stupid.
Necessary.
I'm finna mess up my whole day because you don't let some water in the sink. No, where we finna go eat at? I don't care.
I gotta be about food, Greg. I gotta be about
food.
Look,
that's what we did. We went to go eat. That's what we did. We went to go eat. We went to go kick it. We went to art shows. I mean, she put me out of my comfort zone. She supported me. Charles, I always talk about support. She supported me in my thing. She didn't always have to come. But when I told her not to, she was like, why wouldn't I?
Okay.
So you supported me. So when you go from not having no support to now, damn, you got somebody there. And let me tell y'all something, ladies, just in case y'all don't know, your man could be getting an award and could be in the crowd. But when I tell you, don't nobody else matter in the room but you, he happy because you there. Because he wants you to be proud of him. All I want you to be proud of me. That's it. I don't care about none of these riffraffs or whatever. As long as a lady told me I was DJing, she was like, oh, I see what you do. You flirt when your girl ain't here. I said, so this is why that's my woman and you not. Because see, my woman at home, one, she exudes confidence. So she ain't got to worry about me in these streets. Because as soon as I get this check after I leave you, we finna go take it to the house. And what did I just say? Let's go eat. Where we going? Let's go kick it. That's what we did.
What's your grocery bill was like growing up? What's your grocery bill was like?
So you better talk about her dad. You're talking about my daddy, not me, player.
Absolutely. Now, his father was an eater. Absolutely.
Okay, so you can cook. We coming over to Miss Barbara.
No. She didn't say she could cook. No. She will buy you something, but she ain't cooking. The cook was my grandmother. Look, Charles laughing, but he know. But yeah, I mean,
hey, grandma always making food at the house.
Look, sweets, food, Kool-Aid, what you want? You got it. We live. Look, it's so bad. When we was go to the fellowship hall at church, the first question we asked when we go downstairs was like, "Hey, what grandmama cook?" Because we ain't gonna eat nobody else stuff. Y'all crazy. Everybody here can't cook. No, not doing that. Mess up my palate. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. When I was in that situation, when I was engaged, it was more of a best friend love than anything in the world to me. And it was great. I went from arguing and always on 10,000. But you know what I learned why that situation was better than this one? Because I met somebody that was already in the mindset of partnership. She was in partnership. I was in partnership. So it wasn't none of, I got something lingering around. I'm still hurt. I'm still wounded. We still had our own little things going on, but she always stayed in the mind of partnership. I didn't have to turn around and she wasn't there. And it was vice versa. She went through something with her ex-husband. I know about it. So when I left church to go put gas in your car and you telling me thank you, why are you telling me thank you? Why would I leave you stranded? That's crazy. Look, I can tell this story. Ask Bree what I told her about her dirty car. Girl, if I ever catch you in this dirty car again, we're gonna have a whole problem. So since I ran my mouth, since I ran my mouth and I talked that noise, Bree, did I not take your car to get washed?
Sure did.
And see, I ain't gonna talk about it if I ain't gonna fix it.
Now every time I get ready to wash it or clean, I hear this little voice in the back of my mind about the car. Every time I kid you not, I'm like, I don't want nobody to talk about my car no more. I ain't got nobody
I'm
to
just
watch
saying.
my car. So.
Hey man, I'm just saying. Like the one thing I love about my brother. When he in. That's one thing me and him both had together. When I'm with you, I'm with you. I don't care if it's money, anything else. I am with you. I got your back.
Right.
But when you start flaking, now you put me on the fence where I got to put distance between you. Cause now I'm not okay about what you're doing. Right. I see some things I really don't like. Okay. It's just, but that's one thing I know me and Charles do share the same. When we in. We all in. Like he was in with his previous. He was all in. And then to be done like that, it's kind of like, well, damn, what did I do for you to do all that?
Right.
But he came to his own realization. And I had to come to my own realization in my own situation. That's why when I knew I had to fix me before I ever got a woman like Ty. Because I would have messed that up. I told Ty to her face, if I was still the old Greg, I would have used and abused you and wouldn't have thought nothing.
You know, and you and I share something in common, Greg, and that is the loss of a love in its greenest season. And most people don't understand that when you lose someone in the eclipse, in the best of it, and they're just for those of you, my 480, there before I met my current husband, there was a man. His name was Patrick. His name was Patrick Charles, and he was one of the best men I've ever known in my entire life. 10 years older than me, but just great guy. And he passed away of pancreatic cancer. And I unfortunately, right when we had decided to move forward, he died. He slowly died. Literally, he had a physical in September so we could start, having kids and doing things the right way, whatever. And they diagnosed him with pancreatic cancer in September. He was gone in January. So, when other men came after me and I heard you say, I'm not looking for Ty. I'm not looking for Ty. I'm not looking for Ty. It often is frustrating because you're continually having to communicate that to your future partners. But it's hard because you lost Ty in the greenest, in the best time, in the best season. So it's that it stays, her love and the way that she was with you stays evergreen. And the next person that comes along, whoever they may be, would have to understand it's not that you might be hung up on that person, but that is a love that has never been blemished. And so it's difficult it has its own place, it has its own place in your life and always will. My husband, Patrick, was 6 weeks away from passing when I met my current husband. And I told him, I said, please don't ever try to touch this, because this is what it is. I want whatever we have to be different, but don't ever think that you can compete, because there's no competing against a ghost in its greenest form.
Please say it again.
You can't compete against the ghost, and that ghost, not only the ghost, but the reverence of that relationship. You can't. And that type of loss is devastating because you feel like you don't ever get to live that life. That love never comes to fruition. So there has to be an understanding of that type of grief that you have when you don't get to marry the person that was your fiance, that I was supposed to be with you. I was, you almost get angry at God. You get angry at everybody because it's like, I met you and you took her. What? We just got together. I just found you. Yeah, because Patrick and I were together for 2 years. So I was like, really? So I do get that. I do appreciate you sharing her memory with us respectfully, because I know that is a very difficult thing. And not many people understand what it's like to lose someone you love so quickly without having any time with them.
Real time. And I really and truthfully, that's why I said it, because I got tired. I'm to the point where And like Charles, you say, when they say, well, you still on hung up on your girl. If I said I'm done with her, I'm done with her. If he say he done, he done. And like you just said, Jay-Z said it best. How can I compete with a ghost? They keep talking about Jay-Z will never be better.
I just made that one up.
Jay-Z can't never, but it was always this thing that Pac and Biggie was better than Jay-Z. But Jay-Z always say, how can I compete with a ghost? They not even here. But as you see, Jay-Z made his own mark. So with me saying that, quit worrying about my 8x10 with her. If you want to make an 8x10 with me, get off your ass and do it. If not, find a bus.
Okay. So
everybody get a shot at the championship belt?
So I have a question. Do you often feel that maybe not on purpose, you don't intimidate other women with her memory? Maybe you're not doing it purposefully, but is it projected sometimes inadvertently?
So since I try to follow what I say, is what I mean. What I mean by that is I try to put everything on Front Street. Tell me where you been, where you going, so then I can understand. Don't wait later on to tell me. Tell me now, because I don't. Y'all can talk about it. But my thing is, if I would tell you something now, we together, Roy, and then I tell you something later, that's gonna alter our relationship. Because now you trying to understand where all they came from. But if you told me up front, now I can deal with it. Now I can ask you how to deal with it. Let's talk about it. Let's do this. Let's do that. Right?
Right.
So with that being said, I normally regret that I tell people that, but if I don't tell you, I don't want you later on. The worst thing you can do to a woman is she find out something later that you should have told.
Speak. Oh my God, speak.
That's the worst thing you can do to a woman.
I'm stepping out therapist Roy, and this is Christina. Please understand that women, we need the truth. Let us just tell us and let us decide to deal with the foolishness after the fact. Because if we learn out later,
that's a whole nother ball game.
Because now you think I'm stupid.
Oh, and now you playing with see, now you think that's the same way men feel. Now you think I'm stupid. Really, fool?
Well, but you already said I'm a guy, so anyway, you know.
I'm embracing your masculinity. See, I changed it now. Bree, I apologize for all the times I said you had a man's thing between your legs. I'm embracing your masculine, your superior. You like that? It's good though. Hey, but I learned that. I did. I'm serious. When I was sitting at that thing, all those women that walked in there, when I tell you, Charles, they walked in fly, put together, this, and that. They started talking. I wanted to call you and be like, bro, these women out here hurt. And then I know it ain't just women, it's men too. But my first thought was, how many of your men are walking around lost because they don't know you hurt?
Yes.
You just in a relationship, kicking it, and you putting on this show. Or you on stage, but you hurt. And I have no clue.
Well, the reason
I'm sorry. I'm not going to think of the right question to always ask in order to get this out of you.
But women project that because vulnerability, and especially in a Black woman, is a vice. Vulnerability and being too open sometimes, because we have to keep our stuff together. We don't got time to have a breakdown. So we can't always be super vulnerable and super available, because in case you do step outside of us, and we don't have time to pick up itty bitty pieces. So oftentimes we trying to, is it a healthy habit? No, but oftentimes our vulnerability, we hide it, we mask it, we overcompensate for it. We become, as they say, the angry Black woman. But it's really just a defense mechanism to protect us so that we can go on in case you fall off.
I get that.
I want to say this about Greg and Ty and their relationship. First of all, it wasn't just Greg and Ty's relationship. Everybody in our family had our own relationship with Ty. So yes, it hurt Gregory when God took Ty, but you know what? It hurt the rest of us too. And you know, I will say this. Ty and Greg shared something that my husband and I didn't even share. And it was a beautiful thing to see. It reminded me a lot of my mom and my dad's relationship. And not just Greg, but the entire family. We will never get over Ty. There is no getting over Ty. We're not even trying. And nobody will ever be able to take Ty's place. But my advice to the women that choose to get involved with my son is, don't try to be Ty. Greg doesn't want you to be Ty, but he does want you to have some Ty qualities.
Right.
And you don't have to be Ty to have those qualities.
Right.
And I've told Greg, it's, you know, you don't have to stop loving Ty, but you do have to make room for other people.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
And my thing is the wrong, and that's why I say this so publicly now, because I'm so sick and tired of hearing it. Quit thinking I want something that you cannot compete with. I don't want you to compete with nothing. What I need you to do is show up. Show up in your own way. I always use this analogy and people get mad. Well, you know, you call her top shelf liquor. Every woman out, Bree a top shelf liquor. Charles is a top shelf liquor. Roy is a top shelf. And I know my mama dust her off. That's real good top shelf liquor there. That's old age liquor. Everybody got a liquor about you. Pour your liquor in my cup and let me taste it.
Your mama that old.
That's all I need. That's all I need you to do. And I'm gonna pour my liquor.
$1,000 shot glass of scotch.
Look, man, I don't need you to be with nobody else. What I need you to be is be a confident woman. I'm sharing something vulnerable. I'm being vulnerable with you right off the pack. I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you everything what it is. This is it. And that's the one thing this is why, like you said earlier, and I agree. When I talk about my ex when I was married, the one thing about that whole situation that I will not let another woman do is take my choice away. Because if you would have came to me and simply told me what it was, let me make the choice to deal with you or leave you. I'll never forget. I tell you, I'm gonna be an open book tonight. One chick I dated, she a Delta, matter of fact, Roy. We was dating. And then she called me out the blue. I was doing something. She was like, hey, where you at? I need to talk to you. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Now, I'm stupid, first of all. Y'all know me, I'm comical. No, I ain't smashed on you, so I don't know what you finna tell me. Not the kid. So, y'all know I'm done. So I was like, what the hell? See, you know how we get down. You know how I called you, bro. Where you at? Nah, I'm tripping. But she came to me. She came to me. She came to me. Nah, but she punched me a lot of times.
Shut up.
But she came to me. We met at a gas station, and she came to me. I sat in the car with her. I'm like, okay, what's up? And I said, you good? You all right? I'm like, what's going on? She talking about, I need to tell you something because I really like you, and I really want to see where this goes. I was in a relationship with a dude who gave me some type of sexual transmitted, whatever. It flares up when I get anxiety and whatever else goes on. So I needed to tell you this up front before we go any further. Because if it's something you can't deal with, then I understand. So I sat there for a minute and, in my head, like, oh my God.
See?
But y'all know I've turned anything funny. But first of all, I told her, thank you for telling me.
Right.
Because you didn't have to. And I can imagine how hard that was. So I asked her questions and she told me this. Oh, how can I help you not get the anxiety? How can I not help you do this? How can I da-da-da-da-da-da-da? She ran it down to me. And I told her, okay, I appreciate it. And of course, what did I just say to y'all? You want to get something to eat while we out here? She was like, oh, so you cool? I said, you allowed me to make my choice.
Right.
I made my choice.
Right.
So let's go. I'm done with it.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. When I was married, you took my choice away from me. If you'd have told me everything up front, even with any woman I date now, Tell me up front. Do not take my choice away. And the other thing about that is, do not waste my time. And this is why I'm saying this now. My mother don't know this, so I'm gonna say it publicly. So the last time I have an autoimmune disease, right? So before I got laid off, I made sure I went to the doctor, and they did all the blood work or whatever. So I'm saying publicly on air, so everybody can hear it. And she doesn't know this, and we'll talk later. Just don't lose your cool. But when they did my blood work, she had a trace of lupus come back. Don't know if it's for sure or not. But what I did, I'm saying that not to tell you that that's what's going on. What I'm telling you is in this pandemic, I don't care who you are, what you doing. If you ain't learned who ain't for you and who are with you, then you stupid. Do not waste my time. Because if I got it, I don't know how long I got. So if you ain't for me, stay the hell away from me. Mean that, ... period. And I'm not saying it in a mad and an angry way. I'm just saying, don't waste nobody's time. You only get to do this life thing one time. We don't have 9 lives. So I'm begging y'all, I don't care what y'all going through. Don't waste nobody's time. If it ain't what you want, say it ain't what you want, and throw the deuce. That's it. Right. But I told Ms. Roy it was gonna get real tonight. And I went holding no punches.
You did.
So don't take what I'm saying that I'm aggressive or that I'm just overreacting. What you see is what you get. Anybody know me? People that know me, like the 3 people on this phone, I like to have a good time no matter what we doing. Even if it's at my own expense. But don't play with me, bro. Don't use me to get what you want and then your ass in the wind. Excuse my mouth. Don't do that. Because that's a good way for me. Now, the old Greg would have came and found you.
Yeah, you got some temper issues. You know, we'll discuss that later.
I got that from my daddy. Trust me. He don't play no games. None whatsoever.
He got it faithfully.
Yeah, I got it honestly. But it's just like, I'm too old for that now. I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to fight with nobody. I don't want to be, man, just tell me what's going on. Talk to me. Sit down, let's have a conversation. Like this right here, the reason why I did this tonight, not to put my business, one, to let y'all know this is the full 180, all in your face. This is why we created this. These people on here all have done a 180. We all been in the 360. But we all done a 180. And this is why we do this show. This is why me and Clint talked about this. Because we done wrong. So now I'm sharing the world with my wrong. And I'm not saying I've always been right. Did I always treat my ex-wife right? No. That's why we both called each other and apologized. And I was able to heal and move on to the next. I didn't have no grudges behind me. I moved on and look what I got. Like I like what you said. I got an evergreen. And the fact that your husband is cool with what you just said and he don't feel no inferior, I applaud that, bro. Because you know, worse than a woman being jealous is a man. Right. Y'all know we real ignorant when we jealous.
Right. I mean, he even knows the tattoo that I have planned to commemorate, you know, his life, because that's something that I need to do. I feel like I want to commemorate that on me because that's going to forever be a part of me. And I like tattoos. So, you know,
you do.
Yeah, right. You know, if I wasn't a professional, I'd probably have a full sleeve. You know?
Even Slim Thick, when I talk to her, what up, Slim Thick? Even when I talk to her now, it's crazy how she said, yeah, I messed that up. See, I like that. When you can, like Alicia told me, when you can say, it becomes real when you say it out loud. Mm-hmm. I'm saying it out loud. Everybody hear everything I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I'm saying it out loud because it got real. I got real messed up. I was doing some real messed up stuff. Luckily, I got a point in time. I just apologized to my brother today. Why? Because I said it ain't fair that we don't keep in touch like we do, or I don't call and check on you often. But I get too busy doing X, Y, this, and that. Did I not just apologize to you, Charles, today?
Yeah.
So I can admit my wrong. Huh?
Another apology. Baby, hold on.
Oh, Lord.
The little one. The fight.
Niecy, I got your support. Calm down.
Oh, she coming with the bonnet.
I don't want to hear that. You think you too good for us now, huh?
Look, Niecy Pooh. That's not what it is.
This is my
look.
This is my youngest, Caitlin.
Yeah, that's my niece, man. Look, let me tell you. No, I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Cause me being at work at 7 o'clock is real. I ain't that morning person, y'all. I don't know why y'all think
That
I
dude,
ain't getting up early for nobody.
he need 11 to 7.
He said,
He's 11 to 7.
I actually, but I love you at the same time.
But he know I'm telling the truth.
Yes.
Already. He ain't lying. He is not lying.
So,
he is not lying.
Barbara, let me introduce you to your niece. This is Caitlin. She the youngest.
How are you?
I'm good. How
Michaela
are you?
is in the other room. Basketball season's coming up. I will be posting Michaela's schedule. This one does ROTC. You know,
Okay.
I'm blessed.
So that's that. Let me know.
So,
yeah, man, I'm not doing this. And before we get off the air, since I'm putting all my business out here. When Ms. Roy, you remember you looked at me and said, Mama, you dumb? Now, and you made that face. I want to explain. Well, let me say this. Something that Charles said, I always agree when Yetta said it. Yetta say, when she says Charles is consistent.
Yeah.
That's something else that I know me and him share. Very consistent in what we're doing. But I need you to be consistent as well, right? But when you made that face, when I said something about being dumb, this is something else that I get such a depiction of. Well, way you and your mama talk. First of all, I'm gonna say to whoever, you can grow up in my house. And when I tell you when you came to that dining room table, I'm coming there with your feelings. Because they will get hurt. Because we have real conversation. And I want you to quote what you said on my 40th birthday.
Absolutely. Greg had a 40th birthday party and I was up talking about our relationship and him growing up and all this good stuff. And I told everybody in the room, I said, you know what? I know that Greg gets a lot of flack from people about me and his relationship and the way we talk and address each other. And a lot of people don't understand it, but it's not for you to understand because it is not your relationship. My son and I are able to check each other if necessary. And if I need to be checked, that is not being disrespectful in my book, because I know it's coming from a genuine and a loving place. And he does not hesitate to say, Mom, you need to get back in your lane. And my response is, this is me turning on my signal now. But he's right. We have real conversation. And if I'm out of line, he knows that he can tell me I'm out of line. And that works both ways. But as long as he and I don't have an issue with our relationship, then I need everybody else to stay out of it. Period. Paragraph.
Okay.
So if you're confused, stay confused. But if you want to know, get in the game. So, like I said, the reason why I had Ms. Roy do this, one, is because we always talk about what this full 180 is. This is some of my bad. This is some of my wrong. But I'm putting it on Front Street. If they want to, they can. But I told them before, you'll never go through the fire. I'll go before you. Okay. So this is me putting myself on Front Street. Everybody want to know what the 180 is. This is why we had that real conversation. I don't back down from conversation. When you want to talk. But when you come at me, no, I'm coming full loaded. And I bet you can't out-communicate me. The other thing is this. My brother always preaches about going to therapy. Today, you gave me something to think about, Ms. Roy, and I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. Makes me want to go back to my therapist, so thank you. But somebody else may want to go. And if you do, call Ms. Roy. If you don't, then that's you. But go get some help.
Yes, please.
Because if I didn't go get no help a long time ago, I still would be the angry somebody that I used to be. I'm no longer who I used to be. Whether you want to say it or not, have it, and really, quite frankly, depends on who you are. So I really care about what you think. You don't know me, and until you've been around me and been in my circle like some of these people have. Whatever your opinion is of me, I ain't lost no sleep. Right. But when you want to really know me, you know how to get in touch with me. So I appreciate Charles and Bree. You know, if I was just too much or whatnot. But I feel like Charles always says therapy. So why not? We got a licensed therapist to do it. So why not just do it? And I'll be the guinea pig. So I appreciate you, Miss Roy, for making me get in my feelings, making me cry, whatever the case may be. Bree, thank you for always being home. Always. See, Murder. I ain't got no words for you, boy. You know I love you to life. Love you to life. And I'll go to jail behind you. T-John, BG, is where my mom be my best friend. But I appreciate you that you instilled the confidence in me to be able to walk around my head high when people still try to kick me. I appreciate you being there to tell me, hey, I wouldn't do that if I was you, but that's your decision. I appreciate you showing me what real love looks like. So then when I see it, I can notice it. But not only that, I know how to give it.
Right.
So for those on here, if you learn something, Kim Caked Up, what's up, baby? What's up, Miss Carl, Miss Elisa, Slim Thick, whoever else on here, man, I appreciate y'all joining in. I'm sorry it went that long, but I feel like it was necessary. And I really hope if somebody need therapy somewhere, hey, call Miss Roy. Or look, understand I'm being vulnerable. You don't get nothing out of it, man. You're trying to move forward, you got to learn how to be vulnerable.
Right.
You ain't right all the time, and I know I'm not. So I'm going to get on out of here. I'm going to quit talking. Bree, the new free Bree. Don't have your last word, baby.
Oh, man. Today has just been an emotional roller coaster. I know I got a little choked up a couple of times on here just listening and just reflecting and, you know, knowing what I know. And by the way, I do know Ty from a long time ago. She was actually one of my son's first teachers at a private school back when he was, I think he was in, I don't know, like first grade or something like that. So I've known her for a while. She's a very, very beautiful spirit. She, you know, she just was just always. And so, like I said, like, I mean, always memory, always. I mean, she's just, you know, I don't even know what to say, speechless. But with this whole session and everything, you know, I think it was really good. I might get brave enough to get on air and do it.
Who else getting on the couch?
Because like she said, hey, therapists need therapists. I ain't a therapist yet, but I'm in training, so I might as well get on out there and work on that. Yeah. But it was great. Again, like I feel free. I feel a big weight lifted off of my shoulders, ready for this new chapter. Starting a new lifestyle, new journey. So I'm ready for it, and I appreciate all of y'all for always being in my corner. Even when I try to avoid y'all still came around and still had my back. And so, you know, I appreciate y'all.
Bree, I will be in your mix on a regular basis.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we will now. You free now? Can I get breakfast?
Charles,
go ahead.
No, because see, you might not want to be up when I'm up.
You sound right. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Let's talk about brunch, not breakfast.
Gotcha. Caesar.
Man, I'm good. I like the show's good tonight. You know what I'm saying? Good way to start off with Greg. You know, on the couch with Greg today, therapy session. But now my boy, he's changed a lot because believe me, he used to do some wild stuff. We talk about it all the time. He did. I'm like, no, dog, you can't do that. He'll do me the same way. So that's why, you know, we totally different, but we somewhat alike a little bit because we do love hard. And when we in. You know, and he's not an early bird because I used to go visit him in San Angelo. He got class 8 o'clock. I'm like, dude, you supposed to be gone. What you doing? What you doing, man? Go on, get up out of here. You supposed to be in class, you know. So, but I always got you, bro. Don't ever think I ain't there for you, cause I'm always gonna be there for you regardless. So, cause we done had our times where we didn't talk for a minute, but regardless, if we didn't talk, if we didn't see each other, I still got his back regardless.
Respect.
Even I think one time, I think it was at the church. It was something at the church.
Oh, at the
You
church.
weren't there yet.
We was playing basketball at church.
Yeah, but I ran into daddy, and we was out there talking for a long time. You need to make sure you watch over your brother. Make sure you watch over him. He's doing some crazy stuff. I said, I will, man. I will.
Yeah, you know what it was.
All the time. But good show, man. Love y'all. Right now the Lakers are winning 34-22 against Golden State right now. Just an update.
They finally winning the game. Good. BG.
Yes. Let me just leave you guys with this. As a teenage mom, totally unprepared, didn't have a clue. Trying to raise a son when you're still a kid yourself. Thank God for my parents. When I realize what could have been, and when I think about the things that Greg has gone through, the ups and the downs, it is just such joy as a parent, and I will be forever grateful to God to see the God in him and the changes that God has perfected in him. And so as a teenage mom, sometimes people tell you, you're never going to be anything and your son won't either. And my son is God's proof that you can be whatever you want to be, as long as you put your mind to it and you keep God first. So he's a grown man, but he will forever be my baby. And I will love you until the day God takes me from this earth.
And I love you back. The queen of the day, Licensed Roar. Girl, you put me through it. That's why you the homie. I appreciate you.
Miss Barbara, first of all, I'm gonna get your information because when I do these young girls little talks that I have, they need some wisdom. They don't believe fat meat is greasy, and apparently I look like I'm playing, like I've never gone through anything. They assume that I was born with a gold platinum spoon in my mouth. Don't let the grease fool you. I am straight. Thank you, Greg, for being the guinea pig. I appreciate it. Thank you for trusting me. First of all, I just want to thank everybody because just even welcoming on the show. Sometimes I feel like I come off like I know everything, and I really continually reinforce I don't know everything. And a lot of times it's not me talking. I don't feel that because God put something in me that I'm able to speak and know what needs to be said or asked or reflected on. That isn't Christina. That's something else. And it's never about me. As long as I can help, that's what I do. That's why I'm here. My life has gone so much better now that I'm obedient to the gift that God gave me. So if anybody needs help, I'm at King Haven Counseling. I'm the director. We have several facilities. We're trying to open up one in South Dallas. Welcome to the hood, get people involved, but it is kinghavencounseling.com. I'll have more information so we can put it out there, but we accept all insurances, including Medicaid. We do psychological testing, psychiatric care, medication management, you name it, we got you. So please reach out. And even if it isn't with, find someone, because that's why God put us together, because it's not good for man to be alone.
Amen to that, sister. Look, man, appreciate everybody there watching, man. I ain't did enough talking. Once again, catch us next Tuesday. You don't never know who might be on the couch. Or then again, we'll let you know what the topic is. We always appreciate everybody that always join in. Make sure you share, like our page, man. And like I said earlier, the motivational quote today, be the example. I'm the example today. And I wanted to be the example. And if you learn something from me, cool. You leave here and you don't like me, trust me, I'm cool with that too. But if you learn to love me a little bit more, or you want to get to know me, do that. I'm telling you, I'm not as bad as my bite. Promise you, I am a teddy bear. Other than that, man, I love my family. Make sure y'all keep Tiffany in prayer. Her daughter had a little fender bender, so everybody to reach out to her, make sure she's good. So and make sure you catch her Saturday. She'll do her show, the Hey Ladies, man, the women empowerment motivation thing. It's taking off. It's man, when I tell you it's popping. And we'll keep you abreast of what we got going on. Y'all know how I do it. Faith and fear can't dwell in the same place. And man, if you ain't heard nothing else I said today, why you on this side till you get to the other? Man, just remember to love, live, and laugh. We out of here. I'll holler at y'all.
Peace.
Hey.